The Author and the Crackhead by Eva Eden. It was a cold Monday night when Eva decided she needed to go to the grocery store. She was upset because a lot of things had been happening to her the last few weeks and she was not coping well. She was teary, she was a bit emotional, and she thought, I'm hungry. Damn it, I'm going to go down to the shop and pick up a few things so I can bring it back home and then cook it up and eat it. So she went to the shop and it was dark and it was cold. She walked into the shop and she bought a few things and also some things that her mother asked her to pick up and to give her the next time they saw each other. And then she felt kind of out of place, a bit lonely and a bit like she wanted to be at home in bed again. So she paid for her items and quickly started walking back out of the shopping centre towards her car. When she got out of the shops and she was walking towards her car and crossing the crosswalk, she looked down at those white stripes on the ground that were lit up by the streetlights in the car parking lot, whatever you guys say. I'm punching this up on the fly here. I'm telling you a story. And she thought to herself, holy shit, I'm about to cry. I'm about to physically burst into tears in front of whoever is walking past me in the car park with their shopping. Holy crap, I've got to walk faster and get to my car so I can bawl in the privacy of my little vehicle. So she started walking faster, and the shoes that she was wearing were bought by her brother and they were too big for her, but she wears them anyway because he did something nice for her. So she was very careful when she was walking and planted her feet differently than she would have, which was hampering her ability to get to her car in time before the tears started falling. So she got to the car finally, got inside, didn't bother to lock it, and just started crying once she put her shopping on the other seat. Now she was leaning forward a little bit and putting her head in her hands and just really giving it one of those, oh my god, I'm so frustrated kind of squealy, ugly cry things to get it all out so that she could clear herself up and drive home without killing anybody else in her vehicle. And on one of the looks upwards to get a breath, like, she saw two people outside her car. One of them was a female and one of them was a male. The female came up to the passenger side door and started going, oh my god, I need to come in. Can I get in your car? And while she was saying it, she grabbed the door handle and opened the car door. So then she opened it, she looked down and saw that the car seat she was attempting to get into had shopping on it. Meanwhile, Eva's watching her going, in that split second, holy shit, she's gonna rob me for my bloody apples. And that's okay, I don't really care anymore about much, so take him, honey, you take him. But she ended up looking away and saying, oh, I'm going to come around the other side. Shuts the door, and then she proceeded to come around the other side to the driver's door. At that stage, Eva was thinking, okay, she's not going to roll me, but maybe she's going to stab me, which, in the grand scheme of things, might even be a good thing right now. And so she came over to the side and opened Eva's door. Eva turned her body and swiveled around, ready to kick this crackhead in the face, but it turned out she didn't need to because the woman, though definitely high, smelling of alcohol and with a lit cigarette in her hand, didn't seem to mean her any harm. She said, honey, what's wrong? Don't cry about it. Why are you crying? Why do you look so sad? Meanwhile, Eva is coming up from a ugly cry, doesn't want to cry into this person's face and is like, it's okay, go shopping, it's fine, I'm fine. And is a blubbering mess still. But this crackhead female with greying teeth, they were all leaning against each other, leaned in and grabbed her by the arms and said, honey, it's not worth it. What's going on? And so something strange happened to Eva. Rather than kick this bitch in the face and drive out backwards, she told her it was a crackhead. She wasn't going to see her again. That was the logic she was going with. And because Eva was so upset, it seemed to make sense to her at the time. So she told her story to the crackhead in about 2 minutes, less than, and the crackhead made all the faces that you thought she would. Oh my God, you know what? It's not worth it. You are so much better than that. You are so strong. Look what you've achieved so far. You don't need to do this. You don't need to think that. You don't need to feel this way. Wipe away your tears. Honey, come here. And hugged her very tightly twice. And another funny thing happened to Eva. She was thinking, holy shit, this actually feels good. I feel like I want to hug this person back and cry my freaking eyes out, which had never happened before, at least not in the years that Eva could remember. She is pretty self-sufficient and she never breaks for anybody. Her words were like her ball. She don't break them for nobody. But this time it just felt like she could cry in the arms of a crackhead. So she did. And the crackhead gently wiped away her tears and grabbed the sides of her face and said, you need to stop, okay? And actually said, you're too pretty to be crying, which made Eva laugh. And they exchanged a couple of jokes and some banter before Eva said, thank you so much for stopping, realizing this was a crackhead that was asking her to come down to the town next week and get high with her, and said, you need to go shopping. I really appreciate you stopping, and I thank you that you came and you saw me and then you spared a few minutes, and then proceeded to keep telling her to leave. Crackhead lady was sweet. Crackhead lady waved off her boyfriend a couple of moments prior to that and chose to stay with Eva for a little bit. And the thing was, hard-ass Eva, heart of steel, ice princess in public, actually realized she needed that, and that humanity did have some hope, and that it was strange it came in the form of a crackhead. But there were some things that made us all the same, whether you were well off, whether you were a crackhead, whether you were a street urchin, whether you were a doctor, a psychologist, a teacher, whether you were anyone or anything. If you were human, you could identify with the pain screaming in somebody else. And so in that moment, Eva was grateful that she had some sort of connection with a stranger over the fact they both understood how bad emotional pain could be, and the things people don't say out loud or show or try to hide. And scene. Yeah, I'm not doing too good. You know how sometimes something happens and you just keep digging it. What did I do? What went wrong? How do I fix it? You know, you drive yourself crazy. And I had one of those kind of days, nights, lives, I'm not sure. But it just got me thinking that, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get stabbed. Although it's kind of what I wanted on the night. Just kidding. But yeah, I just thought I'd share it. And by the way, I said that, I told you that story. That was not written down or anything. I just suddenly decided I wanted to do it. So, sorry if it didn't make much sense or it wasn't succinct, but I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. Yeah. Hopefully back to regular content in a few days. If you did enjoy the adventures of Eva, let me know, because that wasn't bad. That's kind of fun telling you guys a story. Don't want to be one of those people that's asking you to sub and like, but if you feel like commenting or liking, that would help me out. It'll give me the power to do more of these episodes.